Good morning, guys. We are finally back home. We actually made it back home Sunday. I've taken a couple days to kind of rest and regroup and kind of get my bearings back into farm life after having 2 weeks off for vacation. But today my project is basically to once again clean up the bread pile that was supposed to get fed up while we were gone, and I think the dogs and the pig and the birds all decided to just free-for-all it while we were on vacation. So I've got everything from the fence line down here, all of this cleaned up. I'm just up to what is here and what the rams pulled in to their pen from this pile. So we will get that cleaned up and then go figure out what the next project for the day is. Okay, one project done. Apparently they don't need any hay since they haven't really even touched what I gave them last night. I think my next project in the lovely wind. I did not miss the wind while we were traveling. I will admit, most places we went, very little wind. But while I do have the wind to keep me cool-ish, I'm going to mow the lawn, what little there is, and get some water on it. And hope I can keep it from being completely dead, because we are in a very high fire risk and severe drought. So my lawn has not been watered for the last 2.5 weeks, which means it's pretty much brown, like everything else. So let's get the lawnmower started up. I just cleaned all the trash that the dogs have brought in off of the lawn, and we'll see if we can revive this sucker. The issue is I don't know where my sprinkler is. This is what we're working with. Needs some serious TLC. I shouldn't be surprised at how dry everything is, but I am. It's a little scary right now, but we managed to get the lawn done. I finally found the sprinkler. It was buried under the leaves on the side of the house. So water is going. That is all taken care of. I'm headed down to go feed and double check on everything. And I fed all the birds this morning, so that is taken care of. I got to put shearing back on my list because I realized this morning, it's amazing how you forget things, that I am lambing here in like a week. I think I start on the 3rd or the 4th or the 5th or somewhere in there. So this weekend, well, it's going to be a big weekend. Oh, such a big weekend. We have our first parade on Saturday. I think he's been disking at night. He's been disappearing. And I think he's been, I see the tractors out there, so I think he's been disking so that we can get corn in. I'm not terribly worried about it going in late since pretty much nobody else's corn is even coming up yet. We're that dry, and it's not even that hot. We're still only in the 70s. Oh, you little turd, you're out again. This lamb, I should just sell her because she's a problem, but I really like her too much to do that. But yeah, so we have our first parade on Saturday. He's trying to get corn in. I have got to get my garden in. My plants are not doing well in the house. I need to get them in the ground outside. Let's see, what else do I have to do this weekend? Oh, I've got to bring the sheep in and get them sorted and get those ewes that are supposed to lamb. I'm not holding my breath. I don't have good luck with January breeding for June lambing. I do a lot better with December breeding. I don't know why. It just is. I don't know. Anyway, I got to work these lambs. So this group of May lambs, they all need worked. I need to give them their boosters and band everybody in here. I'm not keeping any of these boys. I think there's only 2 girls I'm even going to keep. Oh, I've got to order tags. I still haven't done that. There's my problem girl. She just refuses to stay where she belongs. She is my wandering sheep. At least she's not in with the boys anymore. We'll see how long that lasts. So yeah, I've got a long list of things to do this weekend. We'll see how far I get. Maybe I'll get these guys worked tomorrow. We'll see how that goes in my world. Now I did find a slight problem when I came down here yesterday to feed. Hello, sweet boy. There's my baby. There's my baby. The rams apparently in the last couple weeks have decided to destroy their pen. So this entire fence line is being held up by this little piece of twine and 2 pieces of twine, maybe 3, down at the very other end. So, can we not? To my boot. It's not there for you to rub on. I was hoping that they were not going to come over here and bug me. This may take 2 people to... You're eating my shoe. Why are you eating my shoe? Can we not? This may take 2 people to push in. I don't know that I can. I'm gonna try and stand here and push. I just don't know that it's gonna happen. Okay, that didn't work at all. They want fed. So they're just pushing on it as much as I'm pushing on it. So I'm going to go ahead and feed them. And then probably this weekend or maybe tomorrow if my daughter has time and can help me, I'm gonna have to undo each of these panels and move them individually back to where they belong and retie them. I did get this one panel retied. Not that one down there, retied. And hopefully I can get the other ones dealt with before it becomes too big of an issue and they knock this whole thing down. Please stop biting my shoes. Hi, you're becoming super friendly. Yes, you're always friendly. This is my only keeper this year. And he was technically my husband's keeper. Not even mine. Yes, I know. Hello. Hello. Oh. Hi, sweet baby. I don't like the fact that you are so much smaller. You're like a year old. And you're only as big as he is. Wish you'd grow. I wish you'd grow. Hi, old man. you desperate for attention? You're so desperate for attention. Nobody had an early baby, did they? Hi, sweet girl. You guys look pretty camped. How come you're not under the trees? Why are you in here? Kind of look like you're melting. You're on the list to get sheared, I promise. It doesn't look like anybody had any babies. How are we doing? Hi. How are you? How's my girl? Everybody looks okay. I know, a few of you didn't quite get sheared. I'm sorry for that. You're still on the list, I promise. As soon as we have a weekend, we'll get you fit. We'll get the last of you done. But everybody seems to be okay. Herman! Dude, what are you doing? That's not a toy. Hey, not a toy. Can I have that, please? Can I have that, please? Can I have that, please? Hey, not a toy. Herman, you little turd. He's taking lessons from Junie. I've been trying to straighten this for the past hour. And I've only gotten this one panel straightened. I need a hammer because I can't get this one out. It's cattywampus. But the trouble with having friendly rams is they won't leave me alone to do my job. Will you, Elvis? So every time I come over here to mess with this panel to try and get the bottom off, these guys like push it this way. So this is what I had to tie this end because they kept pushing it. I need to get that end undone so that I can push this whole side against here and then strap it down against this post. But they keep pushing. Hey, why are we messing with the baby? Huh? Why are we messing with the baby? Can we not? Tesla, you know better. Oh. Sturgeon, you're just old and cranky. So, yeah, Bon Jovi, you're just a jerk. Hi. Yes, you're a good boy. So yeah, we're trying, but they're not making life easy for me. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed up to this point. That almost gives them enough headspace. And maybe that will keep them out of my road. Problem child. So that I can get at least this panel moved where I need it to be. That's the plan anyway. We're just hoping it's going up.
What's going on?
The water.
Can't you hear it running down?
No, I'm hoping it's running up.
Running up where?
Oh, I can hear it spitting now upstairs.
See? And you can hear it in these drains.
Yeah.
This is the work smarter, not harder. When you're a dummy and you put your water heater in the basement when you build a house.
Isn't that where they're supposed to go?
Not always, because if you have issues, then not only do you have a flood down here, but you got to carry a half full water heater upstairs to change it out.
I prefer not to. Good evening, guys. It has been a whirlwind of a day. We started off with the first parade of the season, and other than it being very cold and windy, it was a good one. So we got that one out of the way, and my poor husband, he walked the whole way. He did have his knee brace on, but he's hurting. And then we spent the afternoon draining the water heater because apparently while we were gone, so my daughter called and she said she could smell fire and smoke in the basement. And we're racking our brains what it could be, what she could be smelling. You know, we're in Arizona. We have no way of getting home to be able to check anything out. So we're trying to figure out, could it be that, we had something resting against the furnace, which shouldn't even be turned on? Could it be, we're just going through everything, the water heater, the furnace, the washer and dryer, the dryer vent, just going through everything that we could possibly think of. Well, nobody could find out anything. She couldn't figure out what it was. We got home about 3-4 days later, could still smell. I was thinking maybe my garlic was going bad because it kind of had that rotty smell to it. So still couldn't figure anything out. And then Thursday, maybe it was Thursday. Anyway, my husband finally found out what it was. It had been the water heater. The little sucker burned up. We are very lucky that the house did not burn down and that this was all the damage that got done. So we are just very, very thankful. So that was today's project, is draining that. It's now in the back of the pickup. We are headed to town. It's still under warranty, thankfully. So we're headed to town to go get the replacement. We probably won't get it in tonight. It's like 7 o'clock. And then we will get it in tomorrow. So today has been just a busy day of getting pretty much not a whole lot done.